Hi all, I am doing this VR to Simon's My First Tarot here on Revere Beach. It's a rainy day, but I wanted to take out my car for a little stretch. I just got it. I'm really excited by it. And the reason why I'm here standing in the rain, I wanted to talk a little bit about my first tarot deck. And I couldn't do that without standing here on this beach. The beach, for me, is my spiritual connection. And I'm just going to get back into my car because I don't want to get rained on. So, I've been connected to this beach since I was a very little girl. And I kept on coming back here, and I dreamt that there was more to life than my Catholic family would lead me to believe. And back in the 80s, when I went to high school, I went to a Catholic high school. I did all the Catholic things. I was an altar girl when I was allowed to be. I taught Sunday school. I was really connected to the community, but did not feel connected to the Catholic Church. The nun at the library of my school gave me my first book on Wicca, which was the Buckland book, the Blue Book. If everybody knows what that is, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. Check it out. It's a really great book. Highly recommend it. Although it's not the type of witchcraft that I do practice in my daily life. I acknowledge myself as a pagan, Celtic pagan, and a witch. I'm not necessarily practicing Wicca. So to go back all the way back then, I kept my spiritual practice to myself, my spiritual beliefs to myself. And I would come by here to really practice my craft. And it's where I felt safe, felt spiritually connected to all that was around me. And it was at this beach where I would come and take my cards out of their hiding place and practice tarot in my car. And my first tarot deck, by the way, was the RWS. And I no longer have that. I actually, and one of my fears that my family would find out who I was, I threw them away. And I know that may sound sacrilege to some out there, but I just want to say to those people who understand that, it's okay. It's okay to be careful about who you want to know your spiritual beliefs. And it's okay to hide that inside, and it's okay to come out. It's okay to be who you are meant to be. The first tarot reading that I received was back in the 1980s from an old school tarotist, and she believed that the Knight of Swords was someone in the military who had a certain eye color and a certain hair color, and he was in the prime of his life, and he's going to come in, sweep you up, and take you away and make you his wife. I've since moved away from that type of belief structure, but I do look back at it and say, yeah, I can understand why someone would really want to be to have a predictive reading of what your future would be, especially for a woman. And looking at that like that, you want to know who is going to come into your life and be there for the rest of your life and the rest of his, and to have children with. Some people just want to know what is going to happen so they can plan accordingly. And I don't see anything wrong with that, but my spiritual practice that's connected to my tarot has developed well over the years, from a predictive one to a self-reflective one. And I think that is really important when you want to connect with the tarot. Sometimes I do read for others, sometimes I don't. It just depends. I do not charge, and that's nothing against those who charge people for the tarot, because I do pay for tarot readings every once in a while when I really need another set of eyes, another set of understanding, another way of handling a situation. I definitely do go to one in particular tarot reader who has been right on the money since the first time that I went with her. And you know, she was one who told me, no, don't get married to this person that you want to get married to. And she was absolutely right. I should not have married the person that I did marry. And that's all a learning process for me. So my first tarot was the RWS. My first tarot that I used to connect with was the Mystic Tarot by the one that came out in the early 2000s. And I picked that up because it was a Greek mythology tarot, but I felt it was too masculine for me, so I did go out and buy other decks. And I just wanted to go back one step before that. I did get another RWS tarot deck, probably about 97, 98, I want to say, and I had hid that. And again, I ditched it when my then husband saw it, and he was like getting concerned. He was very staunched into his Catholic belief, and I had long since shed that even illusion of being a Catholic, although I hadn't come out yet to any family or friends. I just kept that really inside me, and especially to him, because I think at that point, although he was not a practicing Catholic, he definitely felt that he needed to be identified as Catholic. And after our divorce, he did get an annulment through the church so he could remarry in the church. I could care less. I thought it was interesting, that whole process, and I think that people around me knew that I was no longer a practicing Catholic. And when I did finally come out to my family and friends, they said, oh yeah, that does make sense now. And of course, it was very difficult in the beginning to come out to my family. It wasn't a good thing. One person called me the bride of Satan or something like that, and a lot of misunderstanding, and a lot of re-education on my part to my family. And one of the things that I did do is bring out my practice of tarot to the open when I first came out. And the first deck that I did have that I used for other people was the Mythic Tarot. And then I got the Fairy Wicca Tarot, which I still have. I do not have the Mythic Tarot. I had gifted it away by that point. And I do have some of the other decks in my collection. Even back then, I really did. Once I came out of the broom closet, sort of to say, I decided to just get as many decks as I wanted. There was a time when I would always go into Borders or Barnes & Noble and pick up a deck that I liked. And people then gifted me decks, and some I have gifted on to others as well. So I really do like this VR. Thank you, Simon, for opening up the VR to everyone, and it's great to listen to everybody else's first tarot. So have a great day. Mine is a little bit on the the rainy side, as you can see. Have a great day. Bye.